Hi, this is Maria from Crochet A to Z, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. And if you have, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone for being here today. Hope you're having a great day. So today I want to show you how to make this really, really cute Christmas sock. You can give these away. You can sell these. You can sell them at bazaars. They work up. You can make one in a day. You can make a few of them on the weekend. They're really, really great. You can give them away stuffed. It's just a great project, and it's an easy project. I'm going to show you just how easy this Christmas stocking is to make. Now I want to also mention I'm using an eye hook for this project, and I am using 4-weight yarn. You can use either a 4-weight yarn or a 5-weight. If you use a 5-weight, you want to use a K hook. If you use a 4-weight, you want to use an eye hook. That's totally up to you. When you go up in size and you go up in weight in yarn, then the sock is bigger. The Christmas stocking is bigger. So I just want to mention that as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a slip stitch, and we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. After we chain 3, we're going to get our hook, and we're going to go into that first stitch that we made, that first chain, and we're going to do a slip stitch right there. And then we're going to chain 1. And now we're going to work in the middle of this circle. So we're going to work right in the middle. And we're going to make 8 half double crochets. So we're going to go right in the middle and make 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I want to mention, I go slow. You can follow along with me. You can write it down, whatever makes it easy for you. After we make our 8, we want to work that tail in if we can. So work that tail in as much as you can, and then what you can do is you can pull on the tail to make that a little tighter. So now we're going to do a slip stitch, not where the chain 1 is, but where your first half double crochet is. We're going to make a slip stitch right there. And we're going to join that. That's what it looks like. Now we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to make 2 half double crochets in every stitch around. So 1, 2, and every stitch around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And that's exactly what you want to have. You want to have 16 half double crochets. So this is round 1, and we just completed round 2. Now we're going to slip stitch at the top of the first half double crochet that we made, not the chain that we made. Now we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to do another, because what we're doing is we're increasing. So now we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the first stitch and 2 half double crochets in the second stitch. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and you're going to do this all the way around. Your stitch count will end and you will have 24 half double crochets around. 24, and we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because we're going to see how many we have so far. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then we need 2 more. 23, and 24. And now we're going to slip stitch to the first half double crochet that we made. And that's what it looks like. Row 1, row 2, row 3. Now we're going to go to row 4. We're going to chain 1. After we chain 1, we're going to do a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So it's going to be 1 and 1 in the next, and 2 half double crochets in the next, and then 1 and 1, and then 2 in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next, and 1 in the next, and then 2, and then 1 and 1, and then 2 in the next, and we're going to do this all the way around. And we'll count them to make sure we're good. But in this row, we'll need 32 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. So we have 32 stitches and we are golden. And we're going to slip stitch at the top of that first half double crochet, not where the chain 1 is. And then we're going to chain 1. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We're going to go to our 5th row. And this is going to be the last row that we're going to have to do extra stitches. So this is going to be the last row we're going to have to do extra stitches. So in this stitch count, we have to make 1/2 double crochet in the first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. This is going to be our last increase row. And then in the next stitch, we have to put 2. 1, 2. And then we have to put a 1/2 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then 2 1/2 double crochets in the next stitch. And what's going to happen here is you're going to end up with 40, a total of 40 stitches. And like I said, this is your last increase row. I want you to notice And we can make a count just to make sure, but you should have 40 stitches. And you're going to notice that this is going to start getting a little bit curly, and that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we have 40 stitches and we're perfect. Again, we're going to slip stitch at the top of that first half double crochet to close this round. Now we're going to chain one again, and this is going to be our last round. Like I said, that was the last round of your increases. Now you're going to do, in this round, round 6, you're going to chain one, and you're going to have to do a half double crochet in every stitch around. So you're going to have 40 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. When you before you get to your 40, we're going to stop. So that's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Now this is where we're going to change our color. I wanted to do all of them, count them as I went for this particular row, and this is row 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our half double crochet, which is, this will be the 40th, and we're not going to finish it. We're going to grab our next color yarn, and I want to tell you, you can make the toe any color you want. You can make the heel any color you want. You can mix and match colors. You can make these whatever you want in color. You are the designer. So now I'm going to add my green to this, like so. And I'm just going to make this a little tighter. And I'm going to go again into that first half double crochet from below, and I'm gonna close that together, and that is my, and I want to show you again, my last half double crochet. Then I'm going to add my new color. Tighten that up. And then we're going to go in the top of this half double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch this together. And that's what it looks like. And it will start, this is fine. So now what's going to happen is you're going to chain 1 and chain 2. And just like with the chain 1s, the chain 2 is going to count as nothing. So the chain 1 and chain 2 count as nothing. After we do that, we're going to make a double crochet in the next stitch and in the next stitch, and we're going to make a double crochet all the way around. All the way around, we're going to make a double crochet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have you meet me at the end of this row. I'll have you meet me at the end of this row. Now we have 40 double crochets all the way around. I want to cut this white. I'll leave a long enough tail so I can weave it in, but I'm going to cut that away because I'm going to be using that yarn for the heel. So once I do this, and I want to mention this row here is row 7. That is row 7. So now, again, we're going to do a slip stitch to the top of this row. And now we're going to chain 1 and chain 2. The chain 2 never counts as anything. After you chain 2, this is round 8. We're going to do a regular double crochet in that first stitch next to that chain 2. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet in this next one. So we're going to yarn over, go in from the front, go round, pick up a loop, or pick up that yarn, go up, yarn over, go through 2, go through 2. And that's your front post double crochet. Then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, a front post double crochet in the next stitch, a double crochet in the next stitch, and we're going to do this all the way around. So meet me at the end. Your row with a regular double crochet, and then you put a front post next to it. So your last stitch will be a front post double crochet. That will be your last stitch of this row. And then you're going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet, not the chain 2, which counts as nothing. And then you're going to chain 1 and chain 2. Now that was row 8. This is row 9. So after you chain 2, which counts as nothing, you're going to start with a front post double crochet. opposite of what you did in row 8. This is row 9. In the next stitch, you're going to put a regular double crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to put a front post double crochet. And in the next stitch, you're going to put a regular double crochet. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. So meet me at almost the end. Because you started your row with the front post double crochet, here we are almost at the end, you're going to end your row with a regular double crochet. So we are at almost the end. So we end with a regular double crochet. And this again is row 9. And then we're going to slip stitch in that first stitch, which happens to be a front post double crochet. And then you're going to chain 1 and chain 2, and then we're going to make the round 10 and 11 is going to be 2 rounds of just double crochets. So you're going to do 2 rounds of just double crochets all the way around. 2 rounds of double crochet all the way around. And I will meet you when you have your 2 rounds of double crochet done. So we're almost at the end of finishing row 11, and we just want to do 1 more double crochet in that last stitch, and then we want to make our slip stitch in the top of that first double crochet that we made of that round. So now what's going to happen is we want to repeat row 8 and 9 again, and then again row 10 and 11, 8 and 9, 10 and 11, until we have 17 rows of 8, 9, 10, and 11. And I'll meet you when we get to that point, because then we will be working on our heel. Finish my last row before I get to the heel, and what I'm going to do is we're not going to do anything as far as cutting the yarn or anything. We're going to put a little stitch marker there because we want to go back to that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to count 11 stitches, and we're not going to count the chain 2. That counts as nothing. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. In this 11th stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to attach our yarn in that 11th stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And again, we're going to count from the stitch after the chain 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. After you do that, you're going to do a single crochet right in that same stitch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet across until you have 20 stitches. So that counts as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now that you have 20, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work. Now what we're going to do is in the first 2 stitches, we're going to put 2 single crochets together. So we're going to go into this first one, pull up a loop, go into the second one, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 3. Now you're going to single crochet right across until you get to those last 2 stitches. And we're going to just do this right across until you get to the last 2 stitches. Gonna just keep going until you get to the last 2 stitches. Now you have 2 stitches left, 1, 2. You're going to go in here, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 3. You're going to chain 1 and turn your work. That is row 3. You're going to continue to do just that until you have 8 rows and 6 stitches on across. So in other words, in this next row and every row, you're going to go in, pull up a loop, go into the next one, pull up a loop. So you're going to put 2 single crochets together in every stitch across after you put the 2 together, the first 2. And then when you get to the very end of each row, the last 2 stitches, you will put 2 single crochets and you'll make 1. So you'll do that until you have 8 rows, and with that 8th row you will have a total of 6 stitches. So again, you're going to do this and you're getting to the end. So you're going to take this one and you're going to take the next one and you're going to put those 2 stitches together. And then again, you're going to turn your work around, do these 2 stitches together, do all single crochets, and at the end you're going to do 2 single crochets together remaining. I will meet you when you have 8 rows and 6 stitches remaining. Say that fast. So now here we are, and we have remaining, we did 8 rows, and on those 8 rows we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. So that part is done. So now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. And this is going to do the opposite. We're going to do an increase in these stitches. So in this first stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets in this first stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet, and we're going to leave at the last 2 stitches. Now we're going to do another single crochet on that last stitch. You're going to do 2 single crochets. And the reason why I said the last 2 stitches, because that's when you want to slow down so that you remember that you've got to put 2 single crochets in that last stitch. So now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn your work. And in this first, you're going to repeat row 9, and you're going to put 2 single crochets in the first one. Then you're going to do single crochet across until you get to that last stitch. And in that last stitch, so you slow down before you get to it, you're going to put a single crochet, and then in that last stitch, 2 single crochets. And you're going to keep increasing until you get to 20. So you're going to repeat this until you get to 20, and that will be row 15, and you will have 20 total stitches. Meet me when you have 20 total stitches at row 15. So I'm at my last row. I have 20 stitches, and I'm at row 15. I have 20 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to leave a nice long tail. We're going to cut this, but we want to leave a long enough tail. So let's do that. And what I'm going to do is pull this right through. And I want my needle because I want to, we're going to sew this up, believe it or not. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip this towards you. Flip this towards you. And we're going to sew up the side. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go right up the side and flip this, put it together, and we want to sew this. So I'm going to just slip stitch this across. And you're going to go right up the side to close this up. And this will close this right up. And then when you get to the very end, you want to just make sure that's nice and closed. And then what I do is I just go in again, and I'll put a little knot in this. So I put it in here, and I just, nice and tight. And then what I do is I run some of this yarn through here, just to give it a little more. So then I'm going to go through there, and then I'm going to cut this. And that finishes that side. Now we want to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to add that to that as well. I'm going to put a little knot in the bottom of this. Try not to make it too big a knot, but enough to. And then I'm going to actually start at the same spot like I did on the other side. I'm going to just bring these two together, and I'm going to slip stitch this across. That's why you want to make it long enough so that you can do both sides with that one piece of yarn. You want to be able to close up both sides. So you're going to do this right across, just like we did before. on the other side. And you don't want to pull it too tight that you make that buckle. You just want to, you don't want it puckering and buckling. You want to just do it a nice easy flow of that. You want to make sure that there's no openings there. So I'm just going to go back in here again one more time. And then again, I will go in. We'll make this little knot in here. And then I will run this through here. And that saves you you don't have to, you know, put those and take care of that at the end. You don't have to weave in these ends because you're already doing it. And that's the end of that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to flip this back to the right side. And I want to show you what it looks like. You went from there to this, and that is your heel. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to continue to work this, and I'll show you just how easy that's going to be. So we'll do this step by step, and we'll work together, and we'll get this done. We're going to get started, and we're going to go back to the body of our sock. We're going to take our stitch marker out, and we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Again, those chain 2s count as nothing. In this first stitch, we're going to put a double crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to put a front post double crochet. And now we're going to continue. So now we're at the very end, and we want to kind of close this loop that we had, this little bit of a margin. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into this spot right here, and we're going to pull up a loop, and then we're going to go into the very first stitch of this heel, and we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, we're going to pull through 2 loops, then we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. And that kind of closes that up so that there's no big hole there. It kind of closes it up. And then we're going to proceed to work into the heel. So now we're going to work a double crochet into the next 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm just gonna count again, and you don't count this one that you made for this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And you went right across and worked 18 stitches. We're at the very end, and we want to not have a gap like we did on the other side. So we're going to yarn over and go into this stitch right here. And then we're going to yarn over and we're going to go right into this first spot right here. We want to grab enough so that we can, and we're going to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3, all 3 of those loops on your hook. And that closes that gap up. Now once we're done with that, we're going to put a regular double crochet in this first stitch, and then we're going to put a front post double crochet into this one, a double crochet, a front post double crochet, and you're going to do this to the very end of this row. You want to do this to the very end of this row. My yarn is splitting, so I just want to pull that out and fix it up a tad. Now we're at the end of this row and we've got to make a regular, because we made a front post to that first one, so we've got to make a regular double crochet, and then we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch from that row right into that first stitch. We're going to slip stitch. We're going to chain 1, chain 2. Now we're going to start with 2 rows of double crochets. 2 rows of double crochets all the way around. 2 rows. And you will repeat those 4 rows, this one, and the 2 rows of double crochets until you have 32 rows. You want to have 32 rows. Now, I just want to mention that you can make this as long as you want. So if you want to go past the 32 rows, you can do that. You can go past the 32 rows and make this as long as you want. You don't have to stick to the 32 row ending. I just want to mention that as well. When you're done, this is what your stocking will look like. And again, you don't have to do 32 rows for this body. After you do your heel, you can do as many as you want. If you want to do 32 and stop, you can. If you want to make that body longer, you can go longer. It's up to you. I chose to go a little longer, and then I added 2 rows of a variegated yarn to give this a little bit of a different look, and I even added a pom-pom. So I even added a pom-pom. And I also chained 30 stitches, and I added this onto the sock. So if you wanted to hang them, you can. Now you can make the pom-poms if you want, and I have a tutorial on how to make these really pretty and cute pom-poms. And you can make them whatever color you want. I chose to go with the green, and then, like I said, I used a variegated yarn. But what's going to happen is, like I said, when you're done with your heel, you're going to repeat row 8, 9, 10, and 11 over and over again till you get to the very end of your sock. And then you can fasten off, and this is again what it looks like. I decided that I wanted a change of color for the top. You don't have to do that. You can continue to make yours plain. Now I am going to be doing another tutorial with a little variation of how to finish this that's going to dress it up. And if you like to see that, let me know, and I will show you the variation of how to do a variation of this sock. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of these beautiful stockings. Really, really pretty, different, little bit of texture, little bit of design. You can change the design if you want. If you want to do 4 rows of 8 and 9, you can do that. Row 8 and 9, and then 10 and 11, which is 2 rows of just double crochets around. And I did that until I finished this stock from beginning to end. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of this really cute and easy one-day project, the Christmas stocking. Thank you. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Love you all. Bye-bye.